If any uncles are watching this and they pressurize their kids that ये मत choose करो, इसमें पैसे नहीं हैं. I don't want to disappoint you when I say this, but in my personal opinion, it's going to be difficult to be a creative child or be a creative industry professional or choose a creative industry for yourself being in India. The reason why I say this is because I know that it's 2026. It should be easy. All of us have that freedom of building our creative careers and social media has given us that liberty. But कहीं ना कहीं society में अभी भी अगर आप किसी अंकल आंटी को बताने जाओगे that oh I'm an influencer or I'm a designer or I'm an artist, they might give you a side eye. But it's not impossible. Hi, I'm Kanishka, and if you're new here, then welcome to the channel, which I think might be the case because I'm a very small creator. Today, the question is that should you choose an artistic career in 2026 and in India? I have many reasons to be making this video. I think first being that how I get asked most of the times that how do I do what I do? How did I find that this was something to my liking and I wanted to do it? How do I make money being in a creative industry? Yeah, many such things like that. Other things are that a lot of my friends or family members started asking me for their kids that is creative industry safe? Is it financially stable when you go along in the future? So I thought that why not? I share my story because I feel like I've taken a good amount of risks to be where I am. I failed a lot. I have been scolded a lot. I have not really listened to anybody, and I was also very naive at some point. So yeah, this is my journey for last 10 years after school. So I do have a list of notes I want to cover. But again, I'm a teeny bit bad storyteller, so please bear with me. This is going to be not a career advice, but I just want to share my story. Maybe it helps out if you want to build a career in the visual arts sector. I think first let's talk about the disclaimers. I'm going to talk about specifically the visual arts industry. What I mean by that is that visual arts is paintings, sculptures, installations, murals. The art industry is what I'll refer to. My designation in this industry is of an art advisor. And I'm of course very young in the industry. I've just moved back. It's been a couple of months since I've been practicing. I am part of a younger organization. So to say I'm an art advisor, but when you are in a young organization which follows the idea and the mindset of a startup, you wear many hats. So you can say largely I'm part of the sales team. Everything to do with how to sell a painting, how to reach out to clients, look out for artist interest and more. So let's backtrack and let me tell you where I'm from. When did I realize I was a creative person and I wanted to do something creative? I think just like any kid in India, it really starts with when you're in your 10th standard and you have to choose what subject you want to study ahead. As a child, I was always very creative. I think I used to participate in these small events and competitions which used to happen in school, like Rakhi making or card making, and I used to like really win at those. I think somewhere or the other I knew that I like making stuff. But when it came on to choosing a subject, I wanted to take arts because I was also interested in social sciences. But I didn't know that what all streams there were after taking arts as a subject and studying it in like 11th and 12th, and what kind of colleges can I get into. I never got a career counseling, or nobody in my family was from an arts background or ever had like chosen art. Another important thing to know about me is that I'm from Kota, Rajasthan. If you know, then you know. Kota is really the capital of coaching centers where every student comes to become either a doctor, engineer or a civil, or prepare for their civil service exams. So you can only imagine if I was a child growing up in that community, it was an expectation from me that I only have 3 career choices. Either I have to become a doctor, which was the first choice, the primary choice. Secondary was engineer, which was acceptable. And third was either you prepare for UPSC and like the civil services exam. And I chose none. I am stubborn when I know my choices. So when it came down to choosing a subject for myself, arts was really not acceptable by my family. And it was also not a subject which my school was offering. I ended up choosing maths. Oh my god, these stories are so complicated, it's giving me a headache. My family wanted me to take biology. I was very clear that I will not take that. I never understood that subject. I hated that subject, I think. So there was a bit of a tiff between my family family and I that why can't you take this and what's the second best option and not. I think even the day when I had to go with my parents and choose a subject, my father didn't speak to me and he was like telling the teacher that I want her to take biology but she's not ready for it. Can you convince her and something? And the teacher straight up said that her marks are not good in biology. Don't make her take that. She is bound to fail. Instead, she can take math and her marks are good in that, and I think we recommend her choosing that. I didn't even want to take maths. I think my last option was I wanted to take commerce because I was not a studious kid. I was a very average kid. But in the end, that was the negotiation we came down to, that fine, you don't want to become a doctor, you can be an engineer. Well, that is what they hoped for. It never happened. Fast forward to after graduating, I think the decision was being taken that I should give engineering entrance exams, which are IIT exams. So I was forced to apply for those and I was forced to take those. Again, when the result came in, I think it was very clear that it was not for me. I also went to the coaching centers to study there and just like compete with all these kids again. Didn't work out for me. But nobody at that time was ready to understand what my liking was. They were like, fine, we know you like this, but what will you do ahead after choosing this? So I didn't really have anybody to carve that path for me or to vouch for me or to tell me that, okay, take this A risk, then you have these separate options. I remember a few of my friends were discussing of taking an architecture coaching in Jaipur, which was a 3-month coaching to prepare for the NASA exams, which was the architecture entrance exam. And I was like, okay, sounds interesting. I googled it, I read about it, and I was like, this is something that my family might agree to and this is something that I maybe want to do. Why not I just go and take the similar coaching as my friends and figured it out. So after my 12th standard, I went to Jaipur for like 3 months of this coaching and I stayed. That was the very first time I stayed outside of home and everything. I gave the exam, I passed the exam. I think I gave like 2 trials. You can, I think, try it 3 times. In the second trial, I chose a college which was Sashant School of Art and Architecture. I'm a graduate from there in Gurgaon, and yeah, my next 5 years were spent there. I knew nothing about midterms, end terms, like literally nothing. I don't even know how like I did college or basically how was I even there. Like it's a miracle because मुझे email करना भी नहीं आता था. Even during the time of my admissions, I had not attached few documents and they were like, she's not sent these documents. How do we give her the admission? I was a very naive kid, like really naive kid. And going back, I'm very grateful that that young child took those risks because अगर वो calculate करके risks ली जाती ना तो पता नहीं क्या होता. अगर बहुत, if I would have thought a lot to figure my way out, then I really don't know what would have happened. But I just went ahead with the gut and I think I was just being protected by the universe to just take that path on. It sounds stupid that you don't know the industry, nobody in your family is from that industry, nobody's there to guide you, you're an 18-year-old child and you're just deciding what you want to do for the rest of your life. Boggling. So part of the 5-year degree, for the first 2 years, you had fine arts as a subject in architecture. I was really scared of it because on the back of my head, I had seen paintings to be these hyper-realistic work. कि अगर कोई चेहरा as it is बना सकता है, वही एक painter या artist कहला सकता है या वही talented होता है. So basically, I used to think that only talented people can do it. This is something you're born with. You can't really learn it. So I did really miserably bad in these fine arts classes. But I remember one semester, I made an abstract painting which was around the idea of life and how life has 3 phases. And those 3 phases sort of keep going on for like every year of your life. And I think got full marks on that, or I came first place. Maybe you can say that was the start of me being an artist. I think kahin na kahin being an artist was not a possibility again for me. I used to think that I can be anything, but I can never be a painter. I was again an average kid as an architecture student. There was some semesters like very early on and at the end of my thesis where I did really well. But in college, not just learning the technique, but there are many other things I think I started exploring about myself and getting to know about myself. Like I'm a very hypersensitive person. I remember things very vividly. I hold on to things. Friendships really matter to me. Relationships are sort of the core of like my being. I knew what I liked, I knew what I didn't like. I always had a strong gut feeling, intuition. Like many, what would you say, like realizations about myself or who I am. I think that started forming a really strong foundation, like away from home for me. Like I was taught certain things and I started unlearning those and started making my own beliefs. That stands tall till today. And that really is something that drives me to make art as an artist today. Then COVID hit in 2020 and I was in the last year of my college. I was in senior year. I graduated during COVID, so there was a lot of time which was spent at home. Also, Instagram launched Reels at that time. I started coming across these artist pages where artists were making abstract art. They were selling those works. I found out the prices of those works and everything, and I was like, wow. So my journey to exploring art really started with making side money, making side income. Another thing which I was very clear about was that I want to maintain my own finances, I want to earn money, I want to spend money. So that was other driving factor which came along the way. During COVID, my niece and I, we were living together at my parents' place, and her first birthday was coming up. So I decided that why not I make a portrait for her. How difficult can it be? It can maybe turn out funny, it can maybe turn out ugly. I don't have to gift her. Why don't I try it? I have a lot of time on my hands. So I made this portrait for her, never ended up gifting, but that is where the whole series of me exploring art began. I started experimenting with oil. I painted on the unprimed side of the canvas. I didn't even know that canvas has a primed and an unprimed side. And so I started exploring everything. Simultaneously, I found internships and jobs, and I was working as an architect, and I had a really difficult time in this industry. Oh my god, like I was screamed at, I was bullied, I was told I'm stupid, like whatnot. I used to go to work crying, I used to come back from work crying, and it was just a realization that how do people do this for the next 40 years of their life? They still have some self-confidence, self-respect left in them. Like I was like crushed basically. And this is something of a personal experience. I've had friends who had great offices, and that really set the foundation straight for them, made them fall in love with the career. So I say that if you are a senior to anybody in any industry, if you make it really difficult for them to work with you or work in that industry, or you're scolding them all the time, you think they're stupid and is just being mean to them, you're really pushing them away. Like you're really making them hate that profession. With work, I started making art. A few of our family and family friends were like, we're making a new home, why don't you give us a few works? I did few projects and I was earning more than my salary. So I was like, why not I explore this? What did I have to lose, right? I can get a job again, but I won't get this time again. I was 23, I had no responsibilities on me. So then I took a art studio. Like this was again a very like a quick decision, and I started making paintings there. I ran it for about, I'd say 18 months or 1.5 years, but I failed miserably at running it because I didn't have an understanding of what art really meant. I was just looking at it from the perspective of commercials. I never participated in any exhibitions. I didn't know what the extent of it or what the possibility of all of it is. I was really naive, and I should have taken my time and figured out finances to be stable on my own to actually grow that. At the same time, I was also being told that what do you want to do ahead? Like if this is not working out, do you want to pursue masters? Do you want to explore those ideas? And I was like, you know what, I really want to be part of this industry. So I had let go of being an architect. I knew that that was not for me maybe, and I can always come back to it. This can be my safety net. But right now I want to explore this. I love doing it. I love making art, seeing art, being part of those conversations, and also being in charge of my own time. So I started looking for masters to pursue in the art industry. That is when I came across Sotheby's. And I know that I was able to do this because I came from a lot of privilege. I have a lot of privilege on me to be able to have this option to go abroad and study business for my artistic career and then come back and then put it to work. That comes from a very big privilege. I know not everybody has that liberty, but if you do, then yeah, sure, take that step ahead. But if you don't, then figure your way out. This is not the only way. Today there are so many online resources, so many people who are sharing their own experiences. It might take a few more years, but you learn on the job. So while I was doing my research for masters, I didn't really find any art business course here in India, and I realized that when you do, after talking to people or my friends who are also doing their masters, I realized that one of the main reasons you want to do masters is to build connections. That is where you can start meeting people. Being a student is a very big advantage. You get a chance to reach out to as many industry professionals as you can, saying that you want to learn from them, and I'm sure that they'll be more than happy, good ones, to give you that opportunity. Then I started applying to international schools. I applied to 3 schools. I think one was Pratt, one was Sotheby's, and another one was King's University. Yeah. So 2 colleges in US and 1 in the UK. I got accepted to all of them, but I chose Sotheby's for these reasons. That first, it's an auction house where the whole business is of selling artifact, artwork, paintings, sculptures. So I was like, if I really want to make connections in the industry, being with Sotheby's, associated with them, will be a good thing long run. Another thing which I knew was that I wanted to be in the sales side of the business. And another reason was that I chose the New York campus, not the London one, because New York's art market is the largest in the world. UK has gone down in the last 3 years. So again, if I had the opportunity to, if I'm already spending that much money, why not I go to a place where I get to learn from the art market? And I'm so glad that I chose New York. Another inside story is that I didn't think that I'd be able to go to Sotheby's because it was the most expensive school. It was in the US, so getting the visa might have been difficult, and I didn't know if they were going to accept me. So I remember talking to my friend and being like, I don't know if Sotheby's will accept me, and I 80% or 90% chances that I won't go there. Universe has a plan for you, I think. So after one discussion about finances, getting an education loan and everything, it was possible. Then I started applying for my US visa and everything, and I'll tell you, the process literally was much easier than me running the studio. So it felt like it was meant to be. I was never a kid who imagined to be studying abroad, or I yearned for that. I know people, when I met a few of my friends in New York, they always dreamed about coming here. It was their dream city. But I honestly never thought of New York. I never thought it was possibility for me to go there, live there for 2 years, work, like make friends, and call that place my home. Never. So yeah, I guess it was really written for me. Now I had made it to Sotheby's. I was there, I was in New York. What was my plan? Like, this used to go on all the time in my head because I knew that I really had to make something of my time there. My time was limited. I was always right about it. 2 साल ही थे मेरे पास में, 2 साल बाद मुझे वापस आना पड़ा. I knew immigration and visa बहुत difficult था. Another thing I was very clear about was that I don't want to stay there long term because quality of life is not that great. Even though opportunities are and money is, yeah, maybe I did wanted to stay there for the next 2 years because I had just started exploring all the opportunities, like just starting to scratch the surface. But वापस आना पड़ा. At Sotheby's, I really learned that you really can build upon your strength. Everybody has the place to stay in the market. If you're going to be a creative professional, then your mind, your life, your inspirations, your emotional intelligence is what your business is what, like, you as a, if you are a creative professional, you are the business. Even as an architect, a lot of my friends are practicing today. The way they design and the way somebody else will design are going to be two very different designs. So it's really you who are going to be the business. And I did all of that. I did all sorts of jobs when I was at Sotheby's, whether it was being a graduate assistant, like a receptionist at my school, sitting 8 hours in a gallery, being part of the auctions, or being an intern, full-time intern, learning how sales are done, how press are done. I really put myself out there, and I think that's the best thing I did, because now I have connections at one of the top galleries in New York. I really have friends all across the world, and honestly, if you're a good person, then people are really ready to help you out. People were really, really sweet and kind there. I had the liberty of going to galleries. Like, there are, I think, 500,000 galleries in New York, and all of them are like situated in a single area. So you would go for art nights, introduce yourself to like CEOs, CEOs. Those people are so accessible there. It's not like India ki हम बहुत ऊंचे हैं आपसे, आप पहले यहाँ तक पहुँचो फिर हम आपसे बात करेंगे. That sort of a culture is not there. Whether you are a young professional like me or if you're a CEO, they have respect for everybody. Yes, morons and rude people are everywhere, but 90% of them whom I met were all nice people. And at Sotheby's, then I started learning about what art finance is. These are few of my courses. What collection building looks like. How is an artwork valuated? Like how is a 150-year-old's painting's estimate is decided when it goes to an auction or when it's resold in the market. Yeah, how does a painting sell for 100 million? Like I found answers to all those questions, and then that really set the foundation for me that in सबसे what all do I have to take back and implement in my career, and what do I like. Again, there's like operations, just like any other industry. I think art का specific वही sections होते हैं, whether it's finance, operations, artist liaison, artist. So I got to try my hands on most of it. Then I also participated in a business incubator at my school, Sotheby's, and where I won the competition and gave me a seed funding. So I actually got the opportunity to explore my idea to the possibility of building my own art business. Like I had not thought through of any of this. Like this was not even in my wildest imagination that something like this could happen, but it happened because I took the risk, and the path really started like sorting itself out, and I could see the way, like being abroad really pushed out of me that there are no rules. You create your own, you make your own mistakes, you own up to them. You take your own risk, you get rewarded. So I really loved my time there, my experience there, and if I would have not chosen that, then I don't think so आज मेरी foundation इतनी strong बन पाती. My head was just exploding with ideas at that time. Another thing is that because I was coming from an architecture background, I had no understanding of what drove artists to create art. What is the basis of the art industry? What is important when you're looking at an art or an artwork? How should you read an artwork? How should you perceive art? So many questions, right? जो कि हम सबकी general public में होता है कि भाई एक काम 100 million के लिए कैसे बिक सकता है? I got answers to all those questions, but due to immigration reasons, I could not stay and work there. So I had to come back here. I already started applying while I was in the US, and while I started applying, I came across the position of an art advisor. Already I started working for a month with them before coming here, and that is how I got the job of an art advisor. Of course, because my degree was in art business, makes sense for me to have a sales role, but of course there were many other facets that I could have gone into. I have also curated shows in New York, so I could have been a curator here if that was my interest point. I had also like been part of operations or being a gallery associate or a gallery assistant, but I think sales was my calling, so I went into that. That is how I ended up where I am today. So now let me tell you what it's been like after moving back and working for a couple of months here. What does India really have to offer? कैसे different है? देखो, difference बहुत बड़ा है. If there are 500,000 galleries in New York, then there are only a handful of 50, I'll say, in India. If we keep aside the traditional arts and crafts, another thing is हमारा culture. We don't really take our time to go to galleries or art spaces. Very few people know of them, very few people are invited to them, and it's a really close circle. For some reason, even though they are open to public, like galleries or museums would love for public to be a part of their programs and more, people still don't come that easily. Yeah, the influx is growing. There's not that big of a footfall. If you look at the international market and Indian market, I think we have a good 5 years to catch up. So if you are someone who wants to be an artist, I think right now is a good time to grow really. It's very small knit, like literally in a couple of months, I pretty much know all the stakeholders, art collectors, art patrons, museums, artists. So I am right now seeing that yes, more artists are required, more galleries are required, more of new art is required, and people are engaging with new art. If you're experimenting, if you are getting something new, your style, you think that's not out there, I think right now is a very, very, very great time to just start doing that. And social media, a lot of artists are approached on social media. If gallerists or museums see your work, love your work. They'd want to get in touch for like the sales aspect. That is also something that I do. Are galleries or museums important? I'll say yes. Lot of art fairs or museums or institution collection is done via like art advisor, art collectors, or through galleries. And I'll say that a gallery does do a lot of work for the artist. It's their responsibility to make sure that the artist is put in every single room possible, whoever their artists are. Even at India Art Fair this year, I loved works by emerging artists and I pitch them all the time. Should you start an artistic career in 2026? I say yes. 100%. Do it if you feel like you are a creative. Read international news, search for international artists, whatever you like, search for those keywords if somebody's doing that. Because see, everything is being done in the world. That doesn't mean that you're copying it, but you can always find inspiration and start building on that. Because अगर आपको लगता है कि कोई कर पा रहा है या किसी ने कर लिया है और they have been successful in doing it, you really get that motivation to like start it, to be on it. Some things that you should keep in mind if you want to be a creative professional is, or if you want to be an artist, gallerist, part of like a curator, so on and so forth, is that you always have to put yourself out there. You are the business. You are the force. You are the passion. You are the vision. You literally are all of it. It never stops. Do take the risk. Do take that leap. It doesn't mean that if you have to put yourself out there, then you need to be an extrovert. Even if you are an introvert, ambivert, I think either way will find your ground, some way or the other. You will find your way of communicating. I'm telling you, if people start loving your work, they'll find a way to work with you. If they like you as a person after one interaction, they'll find ways to make it comfortable for you. So the world is not that bad. It doesn't mean that if you are a creative, if you are an artist, that you can't make money in today's time. No. Works are being sold for 1 CR. You can of course start shipping your works internationally, participating with international galleries. The sky is the limit, honestly. Yeah, customs and all are something that you have to figure it out, but you'll find your way out. Social media is going to be really your best friend. Use that to your potential as your video diary, as your creative portfolio, I'll say, more than anything. Fail if that's what happens, but try. Simply try. I really would not have been here if I would have not taken all those risks, if I would have calculated every single step, if I would have not failed. अगर मैं स्टूडियो चलाने में फेल नहीं होती तो मैं सदबीज नहीं जा पाती, मैं एक्सप्लोर नहीं कर पाती, और आज मैं इंडिया में एक आर्टिस्ट बनने का आई थिंक ड्रीम नहीं देख पाती. बट रिस्क को लेना पड़ेगा, पेरेंट्स को डिसअपॉइंट भी करना पड़ेगा, सोसाइटी को भी डिसअपॉइंट करना पड़ेगा, बट आई विल से कर लो. व्हेन यू विल डू व्हाट यू लव एंड यू विल सक्सीड इन डूइंग व्हाट यू लव, you will really cross that boundary and you will pretty much set an example for so many children ahead, so many people ahead. Like, I became the first person in my family to do a master's, to be part of a creative industry. If my cousins, if my siblings, they want to do it, or my niece wants to do it this tomorrow, I am their stepping stone. I am there to guide them. And be kind. It will always come back to you. So if you want to take this as a sign, I'll say do it. I know a lot of students have just given their boards. I'm sorry, मुझे नहीं पता हो गए हैं पेपर नहीं हुए हैं, but if you want to choose arts, there are many streams. There are endless resources you can research today. You can speak with AI tools. You can do your own research. You can see what all your options are. Like, what you chose in your school time doesn't have to be your reality. जितना जल्दी बदलोगे उतना जल्दी आगे बढ़ोगे. Change, grow. Don't be like कि अभी ये मिल रहा है, पता नहीं मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. If you are in your 20s, you don't have many responsibilities right now. You can change it. If any uncles are watching this and they pressurize their kids that ये मत choose करो, इसमें पैसे नहीं हैं, ठीक है, आपका कंसर्न आपकी जगह ठीक है, बट क्या पता आपका बच्चा कल को इतना बड़ा आर्टिस्ट बन जाए कि उसको अपनी पेंटिंग से 1 करोड़ कमाने को मिले. हो सकता है पहले के ईयर्स बहुत डिफिकल्ट रहेंगे, शायद नहीं हो पाएगा, स्ट्रगल करना पड़ेगा, बट दैट इज व्हाट इज गोइंग टू convert into their talent, their art, their practice. That is what will define them, like will give them a stepping. Above all, if they are happy, then please let them do it. If they find happiness in that, please let them do it. I can't even imagine when I look back at the circle of my life. See, I wanted to take arts as a subject, right? नहीं लेने दिया. 12 years later, and here in the art industry. I won seed funding for my art business idea. I didn't have any business background. I just knew that I wanted to build something, right? And people supported me. That was really the driving factor. I graduated with distinction from one of the best art schools in the world. I've gotten 100 on 100 marks after moving to Sotheby's. Like, where I was an average kid when I was trying to do what everybody else is doing and not really focus on what I was gifted with or what was my calling or what was my intuition, I was really average there. But when I started watering what came natural to me, this is where I am today, and I'm very happy. I don't cry at work. I look forward to going to work. I also have a home studio now. I have a house which I always wanted to, and it's a big apartment which I'm going to put my paintings in. I didn't even imagine कि मैं कभी अपना rent भी खुद pay कर पाऊंगी. But सब हो जाता है. Really, सब हो जाता है. Keep your head down. Practice. Nothing is impossible. Let people say whatever they want to say. They are going to say it otherwise. People still say things like, अगर मैंने बायो ले ली होती तो कम से कम मैं नर्स ही बन जाती. हमें भी पता है कि वो नर्स बन के खुश होते नहीं. They would have wanted me to be the top of something. Success can't always be counted, or your happiness or your contentment can't always be counted with how high you are. अगर आप फर्स्ट आए हो, सेकेंड आए हो, थर्ड आए हो, नहीं. Those are just, I think, kind of milestones which help you in pushing further. At least try. You owe yourself that much. बस मैं थक गई हूँ. This is all the ज्ञान I can give you. I hope it inspires you a little bit. With that said, I'll see you in another video, and you keep trying. There's nothing that's impossible. Bye.